All right, guys. Here we go. All right, we're starting the night out now. It's a little quieter here than it is outside, so I'm just gonna do my little intro from in here. Just picked up my loaded trailer here, and we're taking this one to Harrisburg. I got into the truck when I fired it up. The check engine light and the low water light was on, so low coolant light. I had plenty of coolant. These old Peterbilts have a metal reservoir for the coolant, and there's a little glass, like a little see-through eyeglass thing, and you can see the level of coolant in there. And of course I took the cap off, and there's plenty of coolant in it. And then I came back around, turned it off, turned it back on. It came back on, and then like a minute later, it went shut off. The check engine light shut off. Low water light, everything shut off. I'm like, okay. Well, then 2 seconds later, or not, about a minute later, came back on. I'm like, what the heck? And then a minute later, it shut back off. So I'm gonna guess that I have a bad sensor. Level sensor is probably going bad. It hasn't done it yet since I left to come get the trailer. It just did it while I was sitting parked while I was doing the pre-trip. But it's got coolant, like it says, full of coolant. Temperatures are good on it, so I'm not really worried about it. But yeah, I'll show you guys something though. If you guys ever have an issue with your trailer, say this is, so far it's happened twice with these trailers, and it's a very minor issue, but you hook up your pigtail to the trailer and you do your pre-trip, and one side of the trailer, the lights are not flashing. They're on, but they're not flashing. But you've got your flashers on, and not just your signals on your right. You're on your left side. They're on one side anyway. You've got your flashers on, so they all should be flashing. Usually, like 99% of the time, what the problem is there is there's prongs in the pigtail where the pigtail connects to the trailer. It's on the trailer end, but there's prongs that have to make contact inside of your pigtail in order to get a current to go through. And a lot of times most trailers, the prongs are they're spreadable. There's like a little slit in the end of it, and you can just stick like a flathead screwdriver or a knife in there and spread those prongs apart. And if you spread those prongs apart, it'll make better contact with your pigtail. And like I said, 99% of the time, that's all it is. And these last 2 times, it's all it's been. I just had to spread apart the prongs, and they made better contact. And I haven't had an issue since. Real quick though, I'll show you what I'm talking about. See how they're flashing right now? This side was not flashing. So what that typically is, see in there, see how there's little slits in them? Anyways, you just put a knife or a flathead screwdriver in there and pry it apart a little bit, spread them apart so they make better contact. It's pretty simple. Alright guys, I'm here at a TA. We're going to go ahead and fill her up and see what we have for fuel mileage on this tank. I've got 1,377 miles on this fill up. So let's get out there and fill her up and see what we got. Of course, right now it's raining pretty good, so It's the start to the next round. I'm just leaving the house. And got fuel. I forgot to say anything on it about my MPG. But the MPG wasn't as good as I was hoping. But it still was better than usual. About 5.8, which is not that bad for that truck, especially, you know, loaded. So that's really not that bad at all. But we're heading back there right now. We're going to start our second round to Harrisburg. And we'll go from there. Might have to put a little bit of oil in the truck. She might be a little low right now, but that's kind of typical with those old Caterpillars. So we'll get that taken care of when we get up there. Here we be. Go ahead and just check that oil. Yeah, in case you can't tell, I washed her. She's all nice and purty now. Need to replace that lug nut cover though. One of the covers for one of the lug nuts broke, so I'll have to replace that. No biggie. Well, she doesn't need any oil yet. She's still decent. She's right up there above the mark, so I won't worry about putting any in at the moment. So I got her washed up. Power steering fluid in there. Sweet. Let's start her up. I swear I bought this older truck to get away from some of the technology. But then you look around in here, I got a screen here, I got a screen up there, I got a screen right there. Yeah, didn't quite get away from it. Kind of curious to see too if the check engine light comes on again for that low coolant level, because it's not low on coolant, and it didn't do it anymore on the entire trip. So I'm wondering if, you know, when it sits for a while with the engine off and everything kind of rests for a while, kind of wondering if something isn't getting stuck in there, like on the sensor somewhere. So we'll see what it does. Give her a second to cycle. Alright, if it's going to come on, it'll probably be on by now, so let's check her out. Yep, it's on. See, now it's off. So, I don't know. I'm guessing it probably needs a new sensor because it's not actually low on coolant. I don't know. Maybe the one thing I'm wondering about is where I park. The truck slants a slight bit downhill, a very slight bit. And I'm wondering, because the sensor is on the back of the reservoir, it's on the back of the expansion tank. So I'm kind of wondering if you know, the coolant's kind of sitting at a level for so long while the engine's off, and then making kind of drying up the sensor, if that makes any sense. I don't know, but the coolant's high enough, you can see it in the little eyeglass on the side, and when you open up the top, it's, you know, it's up where it should be. So I don't know, but I mean, now the truck's on, it's fine. I don't know, what do you guys think? Is that a possibility that the sensor is just kind of drying up while it sits? And then when I start it, you know, because it's on the slight little slant, I don't know. But she seems to be doing okay right now. Yeah, see what I mean by all the screens in here? I got the one here for the PDI tuner. I got the GPS up there. Got my iPad there. So much for not having technology. Damn, this shit looks good, clean. And I think I'm going to conduct an experiment next time I come home. I'm going to park the truck with the nose facing up in the spot. And I'll see if I get those check engine lights after it's been sitting for the day, you know. And if I don't get the check engine lights then, with it facing up, and I know the, you know, the level of the coolant is different, so to speak, it might be more, it might be submerging the sensor more that way. And if it doesn't come on, then I'll know what's going on. All right, let's go pick up our load. Haven't had this view for a little while. Oh, my truck smells good. I love the way it smells in here. I got me one of those new car scent tree air freshener deals. I love that smell. It's not, I know it's not a true new car smell. You can't really capture a new car smell. You just can't. A new car smell is just the mixture of all of the new materials, the leather or the cloth, the wood if you have wood, or the different plastics, where you get them. And I mean, anybody that's a car guy knows that different cars have different smells, especially as they age. I'm going to replace these shocks too. I'll do a video on that. Now that it's closer to my house, I'm going to do a little bit more work to the truck myself. I'm going to go buy a impact gun. And take those old shocks off. Put some new ones on. I am super impressed. I just filled up here at the TA again. Same TA I filled up at yesterday, well, a couple days ago. And I wanted to see exactly what it was going to cost to do a round. One full round. And so I went ahead and checked it out. I actually got 5.7 miles per gallon, and that included going through PA and idling for 10 hours one day while I took a break. So yeah, that's phenomenal. 5.7 mpg. Loaded with about 40,000 pounds going across the turnpike on PA And then I idled that day for 10 hours for the AC, and then drove back home with about 8,000 pounds of empty totes. And then just now about 70 miles or so with about another 35,000 pounds. I averaged 5.7 miles per gallon. That's really, really good for any truck with an ACERT. That's great. I'm happy about that. So that means whenever I get an APU, that'll make that MPG could be up in the low 6s easy. Man, I'm pumped. I am pumped. Now, this might be kind of off the wall here, but does anybody have any suggestions on some cabinetry that I can make, some shelving or something to put in here? This truck originally came with a top bunk, and because it came with a top bunk, it has the minimal amount of storage. The ones, especially with the American class interior, they had cabinets that lined these walls right here all the way around. But because this had a top bunk, they don't have those. They just have the ones up there. Because right now all I've got is these right here, and over here with the refrigerator. And then of course, like I said, up there, but those are obviously not very big. I wouldn't mind getting some more shelving to better organize in here a little bit. Get some of that crap right there off of the foot of my bed, and put it elsewhere. Up above this bed would be, or up above this window and around would be fantastic. So anyway, any suggestions, put them down below for me. We're just finishing up at 30 here, and we're gonna get on out of here. But yeah, now that it's daylight, you can see everything a little better. Like I said, we've got the PDI tuner and my iPad for my e-logs, which, as you all know, you have to mount your e-logs device somewhere on the dash, or you can get a ticket. I think that is the absolute definition of a money grab. It just doesn't make any sense. It's stupid to give you a fine because you don't have it securely mounted to the dashboard. The dumbest thing. They're just out there trying to get money now. But not that they weren't before. I guess. Oh, look at that. I've been here for 30 minutes. All right, let's do it. I'm in Bentleyville, PA right now, which is where I got the truck washed yesterday. Yeah, see how the PDI tuner does not come on when I turn the truck on? It goes off when I shut the truck off. But I gotta unplug it, plug it back in, and then it comes on. I feel like it should turn on when the truck turns on if it's plugged into the OBD port. But anyway. We got the gauges there. I've gone through this before, I think, but you can go back here. I'll show you real quick. Of course, this right here is how you program the if you want it on eco, or if you want it on performance, or if you want the stock setting. Of course, I've got mine on the economy setting, and then you got the settings right there. You've got all sorts of user settings, vehicle settings, engine info, vehicle diagnostics, run diagnostic test, gauge settings. Now if I want to, and I go into the gauges, I can change any gauge on here that I want to. So like if I want to change the battery voltage, or it's going to make a liar out of me, there we go. Then you can put any one of these in here you want. Engine oil pressure, oil temperature, battery voltage, average fuel economy, vehicle speed, engine load, fuel temperature, barometric pressure. I mean, all sorts of stuff. Got me a fresh cup of coffee. Mine was a little cold. I cannot stand cold coffee. I don't know how people buy refrigerated coffee. That's just disgusting. My wife swears by iced coffee. It is the worst thing in the world. It does, no, It's beyond me, I tell you what, beyond me. Alright. Yeah, if anybody has any suggestions about, like I said, some shelving to go in the back there like I was showing you, let me know. I'd like to make some and kind of put my own little spin on it. But, you know, I don't want to, like, I'm sure there's some stuff out there you can buy. I know I've seen, like, aftermarket shelving that goes, where are you going, buddy? Dang it. I know there's some stuff you can buy out there. Maybe not that exactly, specifically what I was talking about, but I've seen aftermarket shelving you can buy for these trucks. But I don't really want that, and they're ungodly expensive, too. Like $2,000 for a shelving unit. It's like, are you kidding me? Just because it's a stainless or whatever. Overcharged it, realized it was screwing itself up and went back to normal. But it was a little worrisome though. I'm like, what the heck, man? Come on, don't do this to me. You guys know that's 5.7 mpg right there. Yeah. I'm gonna go inside real quick, but yeah, 5.7 mpg with an ACERT Caterpillar, and that includes about 12 hours of idling at 900 to 1,000 RPM. 12 hours consecutive idle time. 5.7 mpg. I'm probably gonna be. I'm probably gonna be in the next couple weeks or so. I'm probably gonna look at setting up an appointment for an APU, but which will bump it up even more. But that right there, guys, that's legitimate, man. I gotta say, the Big Boss tuner that I have, that is a legitimate fuel savings right there. Normally, you know, pulling the hills of Pennsylvania, especially the hills of Pennsylvania, in this truck, you know, averaging probably about 30,000 pounds. Yeah, and then the idle time on top of that, I'd be at like 5.0, 5.1. So yeah, this thing right here, man, this Big Boss tuner is definitely a legitimate fuel saving device. It's well worth the money. I'm pretty happy about that. 5.7. But now with an APU, I bet you I'll see well over 6. I bet you I'll see over 6 miles per gallon with an APU. That's phenomenal. Phenomenal. Unbelievable. Yeah, that right there is, you know, phenomenal fuel mileage. Now, to you Cascadia and Volvo guys, that's terrible fuel mileage. But for me, that's great. I'm taking a different way this time tonight. I'm not going down the toll road. I'm going across 80, then down 322. It's a little further, maybe 70 miles or so. But no tolls, so I'll be driving right by the dealership where I bought my very first truck. Speaking of Cascadias, or where I bought my Cascadia from earlier in the channel. Just right over here. Right now we're in Seville, Ohio at the TA, Lodi, Seville, whatever you want to call it. And the dealership I bought it from is actually in Seville, right off of 76. Called Trucks with an X in Equipment. They were a good dealer when I bought my Cascadia. I had no complaints. Right up here on the left. They got some nice trucks there. They got a Coronado. Oh, they got a Classic. Nice. They got a Freightliner Classic in there. Usually they don't have pre-def trucks, but yeah, they got a Classic. Not bad. just got to go in, check in, give them the paperwork for this, and see if the trailer is ready with some totes, if they even have any totes available. If not, I'll just grab an empty and start heading back. Pretty simple. Alright, now we're just waiting for the yard jockey to bring the trailer around that has totes in it. Then I'll go sign the paperwork for it, and we'll go to a truck stop. Yeah, I bought some new visors, or some new bezels for the taillights. On a couple of the taillights anyway, because they shook off. They don't really match though. They have the visors. I should replace them all with the visor bezels. They look a lot better. Yeah, these right here fell off on this one and this one. Those dang roads, man. Plus two of the ones I bought have the screws, so they screw into the grommet for the taillight instead of just hanging on to it. So I think they'll hold on there a little better. Alright, it's up here. Like that. We're in there. Make sure we got some flashers on both sides. Got a little tear here. See, look at that. No flashing on that side. Every trailer that I pick up, got the load lock. All right, we're good. Come on now. Every trailer I pick up, the flashers don't work on one side. So now I gotta spread, it's not a big deal, I just gotta spread the prongs apart on the pigtail, on the trailer end. Hopefully that does it. Now we just gotta take our knife and spread the prongs apart in there. Now you see how there's some looks like you can stick a knife or a screwdriver in there and kind of spread them apart. Yeah, that's what we got to do. room there? Alright. Let's plug her in and see if that fixed it. Alright, we got it on this side here. So this is the side that was good anyway. There we go. Well, looks like we got some power back here now. Just to be safe, let's check the actual tail light. Make sure it's flashing too. Yep. Alright. And that's how you fix that. So let's go get our paperwork and get out of here. We are done for the day. I'm gonna go ahead and just relax a little bit and go get a nap, and we'll get back on the road tonight and head home. Oh man, guys, we're about home. Gotta drop this trailer off first and then we'll be home. Well guys, I'm back home. Just realized I was looking at the videos that I made, that I took, and I forgot to make an outro. I was gonna make an outro at the truck, but I just got too eager to get in the Jeep and come home. Tomorrow I'm gonna go ahead and put I'm gonna get some new shocks, put some new shocks on it, on the drives. The steers have newer shocks on it. So I'll put new shocks on the drives. And I might have to replace a headlight switch on the dash. Yeah, I'm parking the truck nose in now because I tested that out with the whole radiator thing, or the whole coolant level thing. And whenever I park up like that, facing up like that, when I come back to the truck, I don't get the warning light for low coolant. So yeah, I'm not really sure what the deal is there. It's got coolant, so I'm not really sure, and it's not low. It's almost up to the, like if you look down in the reservoir, or in the, in the coolant reservoir, at the back of the engine by the firewall, you can see the coolant darn near up to the very bottom of the filler neck. So it's definitely got a good amount of coolant in there. So I don't know. It's not burning coolant. There's no coolant in the oil. So I think it was just if it sits too long at that much of an angle, it just kind of dries up the sensor or something. I don't know, but when I park it nose in like that and it's tilted back, I don't get that issue. So anyways, so yeah, I guess there's really nothing seriously wrong there, I don't think. We'll keep an eye on it. But other than that, I'm going to go ahead and call her quits, and we will edit this video and put it up on the YouTubes for all to see. But yeah, I am exhausted right now. Very exhausted. So I'm going to relax for a little bit. But y'all have a good one out there. Stay safe. And don't forget, keep surviving to thrive. Do what you do. Do what you want to do out here. Do what makes you happiest out here. You know what I mean? Do what works best for you out here on the road. You'll enjoy the job a lot more. You'll enjoy being a truck driver / owner operator a lot more if you do what you want to do. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I did what I did. That's why I made the move I did. And I'm happy. I'm working my butt off, but I'm happy about it. And it's easy. It's it's low stress. I really like it. I enjoy it quite a bit. Honestly, I'm making the most money consistently that I've ever made, ever. So I have zero complaints. I really do. For as easy as it is, like I said, it's the hard part for me is I'm trying to get acclimated to the whole night shift type of deal, because I am driving at night, and so it's I'm trying to get used to that and sleeping during the day, and my body's just not used to that. So I'm trying to work on that. And I think that's why I'm so exhausted right now, is just because I'm still not quite back into that rhythm. So, especially doing it all the time, when I was in the spot market, there'd be times where I would have to drive overnight, but then that'd be followed by 4 or 5 or 6 consecutive days of driving during the day. So, it didn't exactly, I didn't have to get used to it, but now I am, and my body is fighting it, to say the least. But we're getting there. That's the only part. That's the hardest part right now, is just getting acclimated to that. But like I said, though, I'm home every other day. I mean, you can't beat that. You really can't. Like, so I'm making more money than I've ever made, and I'm home every other day, and it's just super simple. So I've got nothing to complain. Like I said, the truck's close enough now I can go work on it myself. I guess I'm going to work on it tomorrow. I'm going to go buy an impact wrench. But you guys, y'all have a good one out there. So like I said, stay safe. Keep surviving to thrive. It's the only way we can stay sane. All right. See y'all later.